So, guys, how does it feel knowing that the world is finally going to see Phat Tuesdays in flesh?
I'm humbled every time I think about it. I'm humbled. I get emotional about it because there's a lot of. I just get emotional about it because this was something that God put on my spirit to create and to help other comedians that I never in a million years thought it would be to this level to where people are interested. But I didn't realize how much it meant to comedians and to the city of Los Angeles and other patrons who came and were fans of the night. I really honestly can't put it into words how I feel about this project and the world being able to hear the story, but I'm very happy that they are.
Yeah, it's interesting you said that because I feel a little bit Oprah-esque right now because when I was watching it, the moment that kind of stood out to me was when you said, I looked at it as an assignment from God. I knew when God put it in my spirit, I had to make it happen.
It sums it up. I mean, it was. I didn't know I was being used as a servant back then to help usher in a new era of comedy. It had started with Def Comedy Jam, on the mainstream. It had been going on for a long time in basements and back rooms and old discotheques turned into comedy nights and things like that. And Def Jam brought it to the forefront, and then BET with Comic View, helped it along. And I came along and said, hey, well, let me do my version of it and tell these stories. But it's from start to finish, it's just a humbling experience.
Wow. And Reggie, how did you get involved with the project?
Well, I got a phone call from Guy, who we've known each other forever. We're both from the same part of the world, so we've been cheering each other on for a long time. And he said, "Hey, do you want to do this documentary series that Amazon wants to do, where we get to hang out with the funniest people in the world and tell funny stories?" I said, "Yeah, that would be a job I would like." So. And it's been a joy at every point in the process. And, Guy's an amazing producer. So, working with him, it's been great. He's beloved by everyone, which makes sense. He did this thing out of love. So, and he created opportunity for all these people. So, of course, people want to come back and testify to what Guy did.
Yeah. When you work with someone like Reginald Hudlin, and you got to bring your A game. He ain't gonna BS you. So and he gonna give it to you straight, no chaser. So I God knew before I knew that he was gonna say yes. So all the preparing that I did during COVID, when everybody else was getting fat and getting drunk, I was researching and doing pre-interviews. But God already knew that the stars would align for Reggie to be available and this project to be greenlit. And then you add in Kelsey Grammer's company, Gramnet, and you add in Amazon, and you got an Original Productions. You got a great recipe for a great piece of work. And it took a lot of great teams to come together and make this work. Voltron, but anyway.
Because watching it, it's interesting because I don't think that people really knew the importance of it. Obviously, people are aware of Phat Tuesdays, but they're not aware of the history behind it and how important it was to Black culture and to comedy. I think Daryl Littleton summed it up best when he said it kind of elevated the whole level of Black comedy in the world.
Yeah, rest in peace, Daryl, man. We lost him a couple of weeks ago, and he was a great historian of Black comedy. And a lot of the books that he wrote, and a lot of the stuff that I talked to him about in the interview, I used for this documentary, just the history of, comedy period, but then Black comedy, and then this genre of humor. So I can't say enough about that guy, man, who really was excited. And I won't give the ending away, but he was really, really, really excited when we were able to help him preserve his legacy at the end of this film.
Yeah. I mean, I remember when we finished doing his interview, he gave me an autographed copy of one of his histories of Black comedy, which I will always, I was so excited about getting even then, and then not knowing how important it would be. Again, what he did in print is what we're trying to do in this documentary series. Is like, let's tell the story. So my kids will be like, oh, those are just daddy's friends. It's like, yeah, they're daddy's friends, but they're geniuses. And you need to appreciate who they are and what their journey has been. And that's what's so great about doing the special, to hear how Steve Harvey became who he is and his science behind comedy, to hear the stories of Dave Chappelle, to understand the art of comedy and all the multimillionaires who started by sleeping on someone's couch.
Or their own car.
Yeah. Well, even with you guys, I think your brother said that, you could live with him in LA for free, but only if you worked your ass off, every day.
Right. That's why I have no ass.
That's why I have no ass.
Massless. If I was a music note, it'd be B flat, A minor. But no, that really helped me a lot, and I can't, I can't thank my brother enough for allowing me to have that happen, because that pressure of not having to pay rent and work, and just focus on stand up was immense. Even though I still worked, I did extra work. I was a production assistant on the Martin Show, but it wasn't like the 9 to 5 that wasn't associated with entertainment at all. That would have taken me out of the entertainment realm that I had to worry about. And I was in the clubs grinding. And that's what we talked about in this documentary when Reggie would ask a lot of the talent, the questions about science and comedy. And the thing that came up the most was, got to get those reps in on stage. Nothing can replace getting on stage and doing it. And Phat Tuesdays allowed a lot of comedians to get those reps in, but not only get the reps in, but be seen by some of Hollywood's elite executives who were booking festivals or booking tours or booking television shows or booking movies or writing them. So it was a showcase where it was a win-win for everybody. And that's what it was. Everybody who came to Phat Tuesdays won in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Even if you bombed, you even won, because somebody heard about it and you couldn't wait to get back on stage to redeem that bomb. It gave you the inspiration to like, okay, I'm gonna work harder, and next time I'm not bombing.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people, failure scares them, and they think that people, they see you do your thing, and they think, even you, Reggie, with all of your success, and they just think you've never failed. But the reason you both have succeeded is because you were not afraid of failing, and after failure, you both of you got up with all the different things that you guys have done with your life.
Well, that goes back to the idea of reps, right? There's a popular phrase in Silicon Valley: fail faster. Right? Because it's like, boom, okay, wrong direction. Try to, boom, okay, that's not it. But, now that's the way. And, you just got to try things, and not be scared of risk. And learn from your mistakes. I mean, they say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing again and expecting a different result. So you just gotta get in there. You gotta try things. You gotta learn.
Or you can be NFL coaches and fail up.
Exactly. And just before we go, I'll start with you, Guy, and then I'll end with you, Reggie. What is the one thing that you hope people take away from the docu-series?
The one thing I think people took away was that I didn't know. They didn't know how tough this art is. They didn't know we were more than just clowns and punchlines and court jesters. They didn't know that we were storytellers, and we have feelings, and we have a struggle. We have hardship. They just thought we get on stage and Puff the Magic Dragon. It happens. But then they understand through this documentary that, it's a grind. It's a grind, and we came from telling jokes in cotton fields to telling jokes in concerts. From one end of the spectrum to the next, we're resilient people who will be heard by any means necessary.
Right.
For me, I guess comes down, what I want the audience to have is three emotions. I want them to laugh really hard. I want them to get a little choked up, which people, oh, I didn't expect to get weepy. Wait a minute. And ultimately, I want them to feel inspired. Yes. Because when you hear this kind of rags to riches success, one after the other, that will hopefully encourage people to pursue their dreams, but with intensity, with seriousness. And, because when you hear these amazing stories, you can't help but feel, that, well, maybe I can make my dreams come true too.
All right. Well, thank you so much, gentlemen. I know in my own life, I'm inspired with, where I work. How can I help other people? Because I think that's something that's lost. We don't help each other enough. And I think Phat Tuesday goes to show how magical your life and other people's life can be if you help one another out. So thank you so much.